We all have activities we prefer to do and therefore are likely to engage with, while we're less likely to do the activities that are not so enjoyable. The Premack Principle states that if a less preferred activity is followed by a higher preferred activity, people will be more likely to complete the first activity. This concept is also known as Grandma's Rule because caregivers often apply this principle. You need to eat your vegetables before you can have dessert. You may have also heard the language commonly associated with this concept as utilizing a first-then prompt. Why would we use this strategy in schools? The Premack Principle positively reinforces the completion of non-preferred activities by rewarding their completion with something the student enjoys doing. A significant amount of research has shown that positive reinforcement strategies improve behaviors. The Premack Principle also can create positive reciprocal relationships between the teacher and the student. It is a versatile strategy that can apply to a variety of situations in the school setting. How can you use the Premack Principle with your students? First, you will identify activities the student is likely to engage in or are highly preferred. Likewise, you will also identify activities the student is less likely to engage in or are less preferred. Next, you will plan or identify times or scenarios when a preferred activity can follow a non-preferred activity. Finally, you will tell the student or class of students what higher preferred activity will follow the less preferred activity by utilizing statements such as first then or when then. For example, Bella is a student who enjoys drawing in her free time. Before she gets started on her work task, the teacher gives her a reminder such as, when you complete your writing, then you can draw. They might also say, remember, you can draw after you've completed your writing. For some students, stating the then first is more effective. For students who utilize a job list to help with task completion, the Premack Principle strategy could be used by briefly stating, first finish your job list, then you'll earn time with the iPad, while pointing to the job list. Teachers can use this as a classroom-wide strategy as well. For example, Mrs. Monroe is a 9th grade literature teacher who lists the work expectations on her whiteboard daily, starting with whole group instruction and then moving to small group or independent work tasks. At the end of the list, she always writes, choice time. Before they begin the class every day, she says to them, remember class, those who focus and get through their work expectations today will get choice time at the end of class. When implementing this strategy, remember, the then has to be something the student enjoys doing in order for this strategy to be effective. Use positive language in your statements such as first math, then computer, and avoid threats or ultimatums such as if you don't do your math, then you can't use the computer. Visuals such as first then cards, job lists, or tasks written on the class whiteboard can be helpful as they are a good continual reminder that if the student can persevere, good things are coming next, without having to continually provide verbal reminders. Follow through is a must. Be consistent by always providing the then, or reinforcing activity once the student has completed the first. Educators can use the Premack Principle in a variety of situations. It's a quick and easy strategy to increase engagement and cooperation for completing nearly any task. First, give it a try. Then, you can sit back and see the results. As we all know, Grandma knows best. Thanks for joining us for today's Behavior Bits.